Hello, my name is Perrin Lovett, and I have some demands that I want met right now. You see, we're involved in a struggle. It's one cause. I demand that you subscribe to this channel. I demand you like this video, and I demand that you share this with as many people as you know. Kind of demanding, isn't it? Hey, preppers, Perrin Lovett here, and I stumbled across some rather demanding people. It's part of a trio of stories we're about to cover. First of all, I've worked out some technical issues, so I hope this video goes smoothly. I hope you can hear. If not, turn up your volume. Also, it's Par 3 Wednesday. All my friends down in Augusta, I hope you're having a good time. Keep the hat on, I like that. We also have some evening festivities that there may be a record of later on. But 3 stories, some of which I've covered the past couple days, maybe the past few weeks, that are related. One concerns the United States, one concerns Israel, and the other one concerns Israel and the United States. You may be aware that there's a caravan moving north, coming up through Mexico, Central American people fleeing oppression. And I noted yesterday, this refugee caravan, and you always have to have quotation marks around refugee, issued a press release. They have a press statement, professional. It looks like it's Refugee Caravan 2018. Looks like a concert poster. Mexico City, Veracruz, Laredo, San Antonio, coming to a border near you. Let me just read you a little bit of this. Somewhere I posted a link to the actual release. We are a group of people from different nations, religions, genders, gender expressions, sexual orientations, migrating and seeking refuge. That's not Central American, poor peasant, Honduran language. There are a lot of buzzwords you'll catch in that. That sounds like some SJW communist wrote it. I'm suspecting maybe George Soros may be backing this caravan, which apparently is almost an annual thing. They gather up people and bring them to America. They're seeking respect and support and more support, and they want you to pay for that support. They demand of Central America an end to political corruption. Good luck with that. That's the definition of Central America. An end to violence against women and the LGBTQIA community. Now, I know they're probably not bigots, but they left out quite a few letters. I think it's actually 28 characters long now to encompass unicorns and hobbits and God knows who. They want an end to failures of justice for victims of domestic violence, extortion, threats, and homophobia. I smoke a lot of cigars. These come from Honduras, Nicaragua, the Dominican Republic. They don't have time down there for all these first world, post-American, postmodern causes. Something's wrong here. They want an end to corruption between gangs, the police, and the governments. In those countries, a lot of times, there's no distinction between those groups. They want an end to murder. Cain and Abel. Sorry, folks. But we demand of Mexico and the United States that they respect our rights as refugees. Tear down the borders. Get rid of the borders. Support our families. You see, when they get here, if they're allowed in, the families will chain migrate right behind them. That's how we've had the largest migration of human beings in history in the past, since 1965, into the United States. 80 to 100 million people who really aren't compatible with American civilization. But I checked into this group, mostly from Honduras, about 1,500 strong. They're being led by some organization that I forgot the name of, but there's a Maria Elena Colindres Ortega among them. She's a immediately former member of the Honduran National Congress, and she's tired of the oppression and the suffering. I find that interesting because she was in power, so maybe she's responsible for the corruption and the crime and the homophobia, the murder, and all the other things she's complaining about. So you screw up your country, lady, and you want to flee to my country, probably to do the same thing here. I don't think so. President Trump doesn't think so either. He's threatened to pull out of NAFTA if Mexico doesn't halt the caravan, and Mexico said they're going to do that now. By the way, they enforce immigration laws down there. They'll probably deport every one of these people back to where they belong. It's respect, repatriation, sending people back to their home countries where they were in power and made political choices, and they need to live with them. But if not, he's going to send the military to the border until he gets his wall. It's called defending the country. It's a strange concept these days. But you can guarantee if these people make it within eyesight of the Rio Grande, somebody will start suing to ensure that your tax dollars go to their benefit. Now, I mentioned Israel. Something similar just happened in Israel last weekend. Good Friday, thousands and thousands of Palestinians from Gaza tried to cross into Israel. Mass migration, but they probably had a few LGBTQIXYZ people with them. They probably wanted an end to murder and domestic violence, and probably some support from Israel. And the Israelis had a rather harsh answer for them: gunfire. And Netanyahu made no bones about it, no apologies. He was proud of his actions. He defended Israel's borders. But then there's that story about Israel and America. About a month ago, I noted that in Israel, like most Western countries, they have an influx of refugees, illegal aliens, people seeking handouts, basically, or asylum, whatever you want to call it. The opportunity to come and commit crime and live free and easy. Most of these people, thousands of them, maybe 20,000, are from African countries. And Netanyahu decided, hey, we'll just round every single one of them up and ship them back. It's really easy. I thought that was a great idea and something maybe the U.S. could look into. I think I even ran a cost-benefit analysis. But the plan has changed. Somebody from the UN called the Prime Minister, and they've rethought the policy. So now, instead of sending these people back to their countries where they were born and where they belong, they're not going to stay in Israel. They're going to come to France, Germany, England, Canada, and America, where they can be your problem, just like the folks coming up from the South. We certainly feel sorry for people that really are fleeing oppression, but there's a history. There are things to learn if you'll look at them. I ran a video from Vox Day a few weeks ago. I'm going to attach it down at the bottom of this, and it's about the Visigoth invasion of the faltering Roman Empire, I believe during the early to mid 5th century. 200,000 Visigoths were being pushed out by the Huns. They were up against the Danube River. They issued demands. We demand to come into Roman territory, and the Romans said no. Well, finally, they felt sorry for these people, and they let them in. And 38 years later, the Visigoths burned Rome. I'm not saying these people are going to burn Washington, D.C. down. If they did, we'd want to let more of them in immediately. But they're changing the character of the country. It's already changed. If you're over 40, you've probably noticed these changes. And this is the prepper lesson. No, there's nothing we can do about the geopolitics. Your vote does not count. And there's very little that you can do. I mean, there are very, very few of us, really. But you need to be aware of what's happening and maybe make some alternate plans, because these situations can lead to any manner of civil unrest. And even if it's not outright war in the streets, you're going to be looking at a changed culture, maybe change languages, change schools. Demographics in your area may change, and you may need to make adjustments. Anyway, that's going to be all for today. Hope some of you at least are down here enjoying the Masters or doing so on television. The tournament cranks up tomorrow. I'm going to try to get this out now along with the rest of the news. Always check in on the news site for all the latest developments, such as the craziness at YouTube yesterday. I may have to talk about that later. A special kind of crazy. You'll be surprised that the shooting was not the work of the NRA. It might actually have been closer to PETA or ISIS. Imagine that. Anyway, folks, do subscribe, like, no demands, but I'd appreciate it if you did. Have a great day, and we'll be back Friday with the news.